Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the UBC Learning Circle, hosted by the Center for Excellence in Indigenous Health. We are very excited today to welcome back Melanie Rivers and our very own Leah Walker. Together, they're going to guide us in an expressive arts exploration workshop of sorts. And it's our shared goal that you will find community, connection, and access inner wisdom through active participation in the workshop. So, before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that the Learning Circle is based on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Hunkaminam-speaking Musqueam people, as has been kind of the precedent for these quarantine times. I'm speaking to you from unceded Coast Salish territory generally of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people. I would also like to acknowledge the First Nations Health Authority for generously funding the UBC Learning Circle. So quick trigger warning before we kind of proceed forward. The topics we cover can sometimes be sensitive or emotionally triggering. Please make sure that you're looking after yourself if that's the case for you today. If at any point you feel that you need to talk to a friend or an elder, counselor, or a family member, don't hesitate to do so. Please don't hesitate. Just reach out and access that care network, whatever it looks like for you. Quick introductions. In case you didn't know, my name is Cole. I'm from the Tsleil-Waututh First Nation. I'll be facilitating the discussion today, but what that's going to look like for me is kind of following along with all of you and letting Melanie and Leah kind of lead the show today. Our other Learning Circle team members in the virtual room today are Cynthia, our production coordinator, and Kaylin, our assistant coordinator. If you feel so inclined, please introduce yourselves in the chat box, kind of get that discussion stimulated.
Should I start, Leah?
Yes, Mel.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Melanie Rivers. I'm from the Squamish First Nation, and I'm calling in from my home community here in West Vancouver. My ancestral name is Tieltawit, which is my great-great-great-grandmother's name. I received that in ceremony 2 years ago. And I also hold the name Mlamowit, which means medicine. And worked in Indigenous health for 20 years. And I want to raise my hands to all of you today joining us for doing the hard work during this pandemic, whether you're working in the field or staying at home, we're all doing our part. So I've been thinking of everyone during this time. And I'm also an artist, and you can see some of my art in the background there. I love to paint women and show their strength and their vulnerability. And I love to engage with art and creativity. And just to share a little bit about what it's like for me, and what I'll encourage you, what Leah and I will encourage you today, is to engage in what I call arts medicines. So there can be great wisdom that engaging in our creativity and in our imagination. And there can be some stillness, some play, some connection. So all of that's available to us. What's challenging is our inner art critics that get in the way. And so I invite you to put that little voice aside today, and invite you to do a little bit of art. I'll say art today because there's no skill needed. You can see a little bit of stuff in the background here. We're going to kind of play with creating an installation, and we'll do one together. We'll co-create one on my desk, and then I'll invite you as well to do your own. And I've also got some pastels with me, so love to hear if people are joining right along with us during this session to do, if you have like some items with you, like some stones or anything that's kind of important to you. I found some beautiful flowers, weeds essentially this morning. I've got my eagle feather, I've got a candle, so we'll play with those in a little bit. But just want to, again, thank you all for having me here on the Learning Circle and with you all today. Hoichka.
Mel. Hello, everyone. Really nice to be here with you today. My name is Leah Walker. My mom is Lisa Hansen. She's Danish. And my dad was Lou Walker, and he was English and Nakaatma. And I have kinship ties and responsibilities at Seabird Island. And I live here on the unceded ancestral lands of the Squamish and Musqueam and Tsleil-Waututh, and here particularly Bowen Island, which is called Nuklelochem. It's a beautiful place and a beautiful day today where it's already rained a little bit. The sun has tried to peek through the clouds a little bit. Yeah. So today, expressive arts. I was born in Haisla territory and then grew up in Wet'suwet'en land of Burns Lake. And I really was inspired by my life experiences and the community I grew up in there to work in the helping professions as well as in art. And I was drawn to it passionately and deeply as a way to work through all kinds of things that I was going through. And as a moody teenager, I must have driven my parents nuts, but art was a place that I could find myself. And so I was involved in drama, and I was involved in dance. Even in Burns Lake, we had jazz, so that was really cool. And really did not consider myself an artist in any way. I remember taking an art class and gave up quickly, which is crazy because expressive arts really is about knowing that art is accessible to all of us, that we all have it. And, as little children, we knew that. And then somehow our critic and our judge gets in our way. And I've been so oppressive with myself that way in my life. So I have been working in education as well as at the Center for Excellence, and I've been at UBC for 20 years in Indigenous health, as I'm really interested in social justice. And about a year or two ago, when I was working with Melanie, she was talking about her desire to explore expressive arts. And so I decided to join her, and we both got our expressive arts certification together. And it was a beautiful thing for me because I reawakened the joy of just being present in the process of doing this work. So that is the invitation for you today, is to do that. I think I've told enough about that. I just want to say there's no right or no wrong. And I'm going to start off by lighting a candle. And then I'd like to invite you, I think Mel is actually going to do this, invite you to introduce yourself and talk about perhaps what you brought from inside. So I'm going to light a candle for myself and show it to you, because I feel like today is ceremony. And the gift for you today is to do this without interruption, without self-consciousness, and to know that everything that we do is ceremony. And I'm going to share with you what I got from outside. Oh, these are beautiful. Okay, normally my husband is pulling these from the garden, but I love them. Look at this beautiful dandelion and some fern and some buttercups from outside. And then I've got some grandfather stones and that kind of thing. So welcome. I'm going to pass it right back to Mel for a few minutes.
Thank you. And so the work that we're going to do today, there's no wrong way to do it. And Leah and I had a teacher last year that would say to us, do what you think I said. because sometimes we think we got to get it right, got to do it right, and there is no wrong way. So this is just an opportunity to kind of nourish and find a bit of peace today. And so I want to invite you in the chat box to share what brings you wisdom. What do you draw from in your life that might bring you wisdom? So it could be something like a stone. I find stones very grounding. If I'm feeling anxious, I can hold on to the stone, feel the weight of it, feel the texture of it. Getting into our senses can be very grounding. So share something that brings you some wisdom. For me, I'll say the stone, although trees are also a big one for me. So yeah, just pop that there in the chat box, or maybe an item that you've brought to with you today that you might create a little installation. And when we do the activity, a pen can be part of an installation. We had a friend in our program last year who used a roll of Scotch tape for her entire art piece. And it was actually pretty fascinating to watch her unroll this tape and like tape it to different places, watch the tape kind of curl and fall and stick to different things. And so anything at all can be, we can find some creativity and imagination in. And getting into our imagination is very restorative, especially in these times. We're in so much uncertainty and so much stress and isolation. Going into our imaginations is very strong medicine. So we've got some water, rivers, ocean, through tree branches, in the leaf, piece of driftwood. I've written entire stories from, I've actually got one stone here on my desk that I keep bringing because it's got some really interesting pattern to it. If I can hold it right. It almost looks like a tree on top of a mountain. So you can write a whole story about that. You know, where is that place and who's in that tree and who's visiting that place. So we got urchin, shells, rocks, driftwood, bird songs, trees, sea glass, soil, stones, wind, moving water. And then we've got Catherine saying hello to Ms. Walker.
Oh my gosh, my old days. Lovely.
Brought a smooth stone. Great. Okay. We got ocean waves, clouds, the woods, natural elements, land, animals, birds. We got Jessica and Spasm.
Beautiful. Forest.
Tall
Yes.
grass, ferns, trees.
Oh my gosh, there's some
Lovely.
beautiful things.
Yeah, we talk in my culture about all these being medicine for us. Rusty metal, rain. Oh, rain. That one jumped out at me. I actually love rain. I don't like the dark, but I like that actual rain. Water in all forms. Great. Okay, well, I'm going to pass it back to Leah for a bit of a guided meditation.
Yes. Thank you, Heichka. I was just going to say I've got this beautiful fern. I love ferns this time of year, especially these little ones. You can feel them all curled up and they're just going to open just like the arch of a back. It's just gorgeous. There's medicine and in everything. All right, so some people aren't into meditation and some people are. So here is an invitation for you, is to meditate. So find yourself just for a few minutes and we'll go through a little visualization and we'll use that to create, to do a little bit of writing. So the invitation is to find a comfortable place to sit. Often I sit on the floor. I'm not going to do that now because it'll put me well below my screen. But often I sit on the floor on a couple of cushions and I lift my my hips up and my knees down, so I open my pelvis. And that's really nice because I'm grounded and close to the earth. So you can do that if it's helpful, or you can stand, or you can sit on the couch or wherever you are. And that invitation to just try to relax and notice your body and see if you've got any tension anywhere. I often hold them right in my shoulders too, and just relax the tension in your body. And your hands, maybe your hands, they can face up if you feel open to the sky, or if you need, maybe face down on your knees if you need that right now. And if you tuck your chin slightly a little bit, and notice your spine and see if you can lengthen it slightly. And the invitation is to close your eyes if you wish, or if not, a soft, unfocused gaze, like just slightly down beyond your feet, is sometimes really helpful. And I'd like you to notice your breath. Notice how your body moves with your breath, and how your chest might rise as you inhale. And relax as you exhale. The invitation now is perhaps to even lengthen your breath a little bit. Allowing any tension to disappear as you breathe. As you breathe in, perhaps notice the crown of your head and allow it to expand as if to the sky. And then, as an imaginary line down your spine, into your pelvis, and even beyond into Mother Earth and the core as you exhale. So it's like this cylinder from the top of your head and crown, down your spine and your pelvis, into the earth. I invite you to notice if you hear anything. Any sounds, if it's just the sound of your breath, or if there are other noises in the background. Notice what you feel on your body. Notice the temperature, whether it's warm or cool on your skin. Notice how your clothing fits on your body. Notice if you smell anything. I'd invite you now, as you're listening to your breath and you're breathing in a state of relaxation, I invite you now to think about a place that gives you joy and comfort. It could be right where you are, or it could be a special place. And I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye that you are there right now. And thinking about it with all of your senses, I'd like you to imagine what's there. What do you see around you? What colors are there? I'd like you to imagine what you hear. What you possibly taste. And how good you feel in this space. How comfortable you feel in this space. And as you are here, resting in this comfortable place, I'd like you to imagine that beside you, as you look beside you, there is some medicine, an object. You're not sure what it is, and as you refocus your eyes, you pick up that object and you feel that object. And you feel the weight of that object in your hands. You feel the texture of that object in your hands. And you realize that this is a gift to you from a relative, from your ancestors. This gift. You realize this is medicine, especially for you. As you're imagining this medicine, I invite you to open your eyes slightly, and to take a piece of paper beside you, and to write any words that might come up for you with this object, with this medicine that you have in your hands. Is it speaking to you? Is it telling you something? And take a few minutes and write down any words that you have, or sentence fragments, or prose, or anything about this medicine. And if you're stuck, it doesn't matter. Just describe what it could be. What is the message in this object? What is it trying to tell you? Maybe one more minute to write in any last thoughts or words or things that come up for you. And if you'd like, you can share, if you want, what's come up for you, either a sentence or a word or even an image. You're welcome to do that in the chat box. I know for me, it was really surprising what came up. And it was a bracelet that I had lost that was given to me a long, long time ago. Oh, beautiful. Belonging. Yeah. I am enough. Holding, grounding. Wichka. Mine is that I have value. Yeah. Oh, there's some beautiful things here. Thank you. Lovely. Some of your words are stunning. Thank you. So now if you have something there, oh my goodness, yeah. Thank you, Rhonda, writing about your grandparents. Oh, I hope that you do it after too. It's so great. So this is, for some people, if you were to actually take the essence of what you wrote there and you were to put a form to it, a physical form to it, what would that look like? Or a gesture? So I would think, so I'm going to demonstrate, and then you can think about that for yourself and perhaps do that, put your body into a shape. So mine is, thank you. I wish I could see all your gestures if you come up with something, our audience, but thank you very much.
Okay. So hold on to all those words and feelings. I feel very calm having done that meditation and a little bit of writing. Oh, weird, with someone at our door. So we're gonna do a little bit of this art installation next, and I'm gonna switch my camera to over top of my my desk in a moment. But grab your piece of paper that you're either currently writing on or a new one. So I've just got a little piece that I was writing on, and I'm going to use that. And I've also got some pastels. So if you pick maybe one, maybe two colors, I always try to say keep it simple. And one of my biggest tricks for getting out of the inner critic in our inner art critic in our heads is to use my non-dominant hand or close my eyes. So it doesn't matter what this is going to look like. And I'll switch my camera down to my desk so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll just move some of this aside for a moment so that I can do this little coloring part. So I'm just going to take my non-dominant hand and I'm just going to scribble a little bit or anything at all that I want to do. There's no wrong way. And it's not going to even take very long. If you feel like adding more than two colors, if you have colors with you. If you don't, if you just have a pen, just scribble with your pen. I just feeling like I want to bring in some yellow. So it doesn't need to look like anything. Doesn't need to be good. Really, it's just the act of engaging in it is very calming.
Mine's very childlike.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you want to share yours, Leah.
Not yet. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, wait. I'm going to do some more.
So now you could either leave it as a single piece of paper, or you could even tear it up into some pieces. Sometimes the pieces are even more interesting than the whole piece on its own. I missed yours, Leah.
Oh, I don't know. I've already ripped it.
Awesome. How about you, Cole? How's yours going?
I'm practicing self-love and acceptance, Melanie.
Excellent.
I only brought one piece of paper, so I got the words in the paper.
Great.
Thing.
Lovely.
Just, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Having fun.
In my culture, we talk about meeting the medicine halfway, and so that's being kind to ourselves when we do these types of things. So what I'm going to do next is I've got these different things on my desk. These stones, this is just from a tree outside my house, pine cone. I've got this candle, which I can light when the time is right. Also got a piece of cedar and these flowers that I found. So we're going to co-create something together, and then give you a bit of time to work on your own one. Oh, and then I've also got my feather. So first we're going to describe a few of the items, so words that come to mind. And you try not to think too much when you do this kind of work. So I just felt called, first of all, to pull up this one. And so, so please pop in some words in the chat box to describe what this, maybe what you imagine when you look at this flower, or what you might smell or think about. So bright and sunny. I'm going to write down some of these words. Open fields. Oh, I just had a beautiful image of open fields. Innocence, warmth, life, dancing, fresh, dainty, pure, clean, wild, wind. I'm not going to be able to write them all down, actually. Beautiful. So many descriptive words that we can, childlike, we can come up just looking at this flower. So I'm just going to write a few of them down. So I've got a few on my page here. Breath, joy. And so I'm going to grab a second item. I'm going to try not to think too much. Okay, well, I'll do my feather. So what words come to mind with looking at the feather? Strength.
Swoop.
Vision, soaring, wisdom, lightness. Law, yeah. Mystery, float, knowledge, secure. Silk, flight, nature, gift. Arrow, power. And the eagle feather is a very potent one.
Mm-hmm.
Make a little space for that. And now, just one of my pieces of paper here. So what words come to mind with this piece of paper? Joy. Colorful, childlike, playful. Rainbow. Raw, universe. Lightness. Care, pure, spontaneous. I love it. So many words. And I love doing it together because I would not think of all these words myself. fragment, containment, freedom, connection, energy.
Mhm.
So we're going to start with a little installation. So I'm just moving some of these off to the side. So there's the 3 that I started with. Create a clean space there, so that's all you see. So this on itself can be an art installation. And I actually like it the way it is, but there's many variations of ways that we could place these items. But maybe as it is, I invite you to come up with a title for it.
Mhm.
We're going to kind of create a little story about it in a phrase. And I'm going to look at some of the words that we put. Nature's embrace, cradled, a magic day. Freedom taking flight. I think what came to my mind was joyful wisdom soars. Happiness, droplets of children's wisdom emboldened. A safe space in the wild. Journey to the inner child.
That's a great one.
Timeless, nature frees wisdom.
They're all good. They're all good. Wow.
But there's something that resonated for Leah there, right? Like,
No, totally.
we're all going to have like a different reaction to the words. Timelessness.
Mm.
Look at our beautiful, I call that just a little bit of poetry with our pieces. So now I can maybe bring in some other items and just kind of place them around, see what might feel good. Again, no wrong way to do it. And I can just kind of just keep playing with it till it feels like they're in there where I want them to be. Maybe I take away some items or I bring in some more items. And if you have any suggestions about where to move something, you can pop that in the chat box. Let's see. I feel like I've got too many items. So I might try it without the eagle feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Cool to see one of the stones anchoring the picture like paperweight. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me then want to kind of bring those in closer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one doesn't want to go up for me. There we go. All right. Any other suggestions for this one? I might actually see about bringing the candle. I am one with nature.
Well, the important part is the first one. I may not know what's going on within me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forever and for now. I'm just like, oh, no, I'm not sure that one.
It's a lot of balance.
Yeah. This is kind of balanced right now that way. It feels like it's maybe too much. Be a little bit of ritual to light the candle.
That changes everything.
So I invite you now to play with whatever's around you, even if you have 2 items or 3 items with your, if you were able to do a little bit of your sketching or drawing or scribbling. Create your own little installation and look at each item and write down some words related to it. And then when you feel like you've got everything in place, you can kind of come up with your own little title. Beauty and balance. How are people doing? How are you doing with getting your installations, your titles?
Having a good idea.
You're having a good idea, Leah?
Oh, having a good time, I mean.
Oh, good time.
Yeah.
This is where I wish I could see you all and see how you're doing. So maybe just pop in the chat box where you're at, if you've had a chance to create a little installation, if you're still working, and if you have a title. And we also want to invite folks, if you do want to come on camera and voice, that Cynthia and Cole can make that possible for you. And in a moment, we'll kind of ask if anyone wants to do that, and you can raise your hand, and we'll get a chance to see. Some of it might be hard to bring up to your camera if you've created something that's 3D, but I would also love to hear from you, your title, or how it went for you, or how you're feeling as well. And there's a bunch of words that have come in as well. Sacrifice to technology, circle of reference, a natural affinity, shelter for wayward things, inner resolution, turn a rock and discover, heart space. Yeah, so if anyone wants to come on camera and share, and how about you, Cole? So you've got Anita Journey. Do you want to share what you were able to do?
Yeah, I mine looks a little different, but I'll share it. And then I think we have another person that would like to share as well. So this is what mine looks like. I actually just picked up some old dog stuff from outside this morning. For everybody that doesn't know, I lost my dog a couple months ago. And I'll be honest with you guys, I had like maybe 3 hours of sleep last night. I don't know why, but he was in my dreams. He was in my mind. I couldn't rest, and So when I woke up this morning, I just went and got some of his stuff. This is his baby collar. And I wanted to do, I don't know, I just wanted to express something positive about the time that he gave me. Yeah. So, Sin, I believe that Deanna would like to share as well. Can we make that happen?
Thanks, Cole. Such a hard loss.
Thanks, Mel.
Hello?
Hi, Deanna.
Hi. I don't know if you can see me or what, but I
Can't see you yet.
yeah, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. But so I can describe what I have. So I had that paper and I kind of ripped it up, and it was funny because what I have is like I collect heart stones and I find really great connection to them. There's one in particular that I keep near my space all the time. And so this one's actually from down by the water, by the ocean here. So that's why it's so special to me. But this one, my dad found when he was here a few years ago. I'm really missing my dad. He's way out in Winnipeg. So I was putting it together and I wasn't really watching what you guys were. So I was putting it together and my pieces of paper kind of fell like little wings, and I placed this heavy stone in the middle. And then I wrote what it made me feel like. And so I called it heart space. It flutters and resonates, vibrates as my breath moves around it, echoes its songs into the past, present, future, connected to blood memories hidden away deep near my roots. My heart space opens and everything floods around it like water pouring into a cup. Everything shakes my heart awake. And that was so amazing, that meditation that you led us through. I really appreciated that. So, Miigwech, thank you very much.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to do the camera. I'm on my silly little device here and I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry.
Your poem is beautiful, Deanna.
Yeah,
It's
that was
lovely to
very
hear your
helpful.
voice. Thank
Hi,
you.
Chica.
Says hers is an eagle feather laying over my torn picture with dried leaves from my office plants, with beaded heart pin.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Annette, send your pictures. Anyone that has pictures, please send it to learning.circle
At UBC.
at ubc.ca and we'll post them.
Charlotte missed the beginning of the meditation. Yeah, doing meditation for creating art. Yeah.
Yeah. The beautiful thing about that, Charlotte, is that like ultimately meditation really is about noticing your physical presence in your breath. And even if you've got chatter going on, knowing that behind, with all that chatter, you're still breathing and noticing all of that and coming back to your breath and your body, your beautiful body that holds you and connects you. And then moving from there to anything that comes to you, really.
Oh, we got some pictures.
Oh, look. Oh, how wonderful. Oh, I love that.
Wow.
Look at that. Two rocks joined. What was the title of that one for Catherine, I wonder? Oh, it's lovely. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Gorgeous. Lovely, Jayla.
Wow. Oh, she's got the same dandelion.
Yeah,
Oh, that's yours, Leah.
it is. That's right.
It's like, wow, someone else has some dandelions.
Oh, wow. Lovely. Look at that. Oh, you're so good, all of you. Bush. Look at that amazing rose. Wow. So nice. Oh,
Look at that rose.
look at that heart. And the beautiful poem. Fantastic. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Lovely. Lovely.
So moving.
What a privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. And if you are on social media, if you want to tag the Learning Circle as well, that'd be another way for us to see.
Yeah. Taking a picture or not.
Yeah. So Leah has some poetry to read.
I do. I found some
So-
poems, everyone. I look for some poems, and I have some poems that I'd like to read to you, if that's okay, as we close for today. I really want to thank you for your participation. In doing this work. So the first poem, I've got two poems for you. One is by Lee Miracle, and I don't know if you know her, but she's an amazing stalo woman and writer and poet. And she has one that is called Everything Begins with a Song, which of course our voice is a beautiful expression. The sweet mountain breath of wind whispering through cedar. Earth's symphony. Wind taps out tunes to the valley floors. Even the howling storm winds sing agonizingly beautiful songs. Areas of painful transformation we come to love. Songs hooked to the language of wind lessens this burden of being, couples itself to the promise of language. Voice elevates being, renders life manageable. There is power in the breath we pass over vibrating vocal cords. The words carry a charge. The spark invites response. The hum of song points receivers in the direction of the good life. The breath of others takes their own journey through the body, passes breath through some imagined future. Love that poem. Okay, and then the second one is, I don't know, many of you probably know this poem. It's a favorite that Melanie and I heard in our expressive arts therapy program. And she's a beautiful writer who recently passed just this last year. Her name is Mary Oliver, and this poem is called Wild Geese. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese high in the clean blue air are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Hi, Chika, everyone.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you for being here, everyone.
So I just wanted to share quickly, we have some other images that came through, and those will be on your screen now. On behalf of the Learning Circle, I wanted to thank Leah and Melanie so very much for coming and sharing their wisdom and experience and their teachings with us today. I feel much lighter having participated, and I'm sure everybody else does too. My plug, as usual, I'm going to keep it short today. We have a couple more learning circles coming up, one on May 26th, one on June 4th. And the learning circle on June the 4th will be on kind of media. So we're going to be joined by Candace Callison and Liz Starrett, as well as Stephanie Wood. They're going to talk to us about pandemic reporting within Indigenous contexts as it relates to COVID-19. And then on May 26th, we'll have a session featuring Dr. Stefan McLaughlin, Dr. Ramona Nekoway, and Dr. Merle Ballard. And they're going to talk to us about Indigenous-led planning and responses to COVID-19 and other pandemics. So I hope you'll join us if you're interested. Yeah. Thanks again so very much, Leah and Melanie. I really appreciated it. And thank you all for participating and sharing a bit of yourself with us today. I've appreciated
Thank you, everyone. And just remember, it only takes 5 minutes to create a little installation, like take a little break from your work. And I just want to again say thank you to everyone for all the hard work you're doing to keep our community safe.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Hi, Chika.